Hello students, good morning to all. So today we will start new lesson 4 operating system, which is the last lesson of our syllabus for the first critical test exam. So this operating system is what? Operating system is the most important program which is first loaded on a computer when we turn on the computer, when we start the computer, means when we switch on the system. And this program, operating system, is a program which acts as an interface, means act as a mediator between the user and the hardware, in the software and the computer hardware. So if you want to interact with the computer software operating system with the processor, so operating system does this task, our instructions it receives from the hardware like the keyboard and mouse, and after that this instructions is translated into the machine code which the computer understands, and it is given to the processor. And after that the processor will execute it, process your request, and the result means output will be displayed on the screen, which is then the hardware. So we can say this operating system is a specialized set of programs which manage the overall functioning of the computer and its resources. This operating system controls and monitors the execution of other programs and applications. Other programs and applications means like we are opening the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all these are the application software programs. So how to open it, when to close it, all these things is managed by the operating system. Operating system perform the basic tasks such as recognizing the input from the keyboard, what input the user has been providing from the keyboard, sending output to the monitor, managing files and directories on the storage devices, and control all the peripheral devices like the printer and scanner, joystick, microphone, speaker, all these things is controlled and managed by the operating system only. Okay, so this operating system basically is a collection of software which manages the computer hardware resources and provide common services for the computer programs. So why we are learning this operating system? Operating system is the interface between the computer user and computer hardware. Yes, it is a mediator. So a user cannot directly communicate with the computer hardware because the hardware understands the machine language, means electrical signals only, and user cannot talk in electrical signals. So operating system is a software which perform all the basic tasks like the file management, memory management, process management, and handling input output and controlling all the peripheral devices, disk drives, birds, and printers. Some popular operating systems are the Linux operating system, Windows operating system, VMS operating system, forward slash 400 AIX, ZOS, etc. Okay, so what are the components of the operating system? So basically, a operating system has two components, cell and kernel. It is divided into two components, cell and kernel. Cell handles the interaction with the users. So cell is that part of the outer part of the operating system, outer layer is called the cell, and which interact with the user. So the instructions received by the user through the cell only. So cell receives the instruction from the user, and after that, this cell is the outermost layer of the operating system and manages the interaction between the user and the operating system. So the cell helps you to prompt you for the input, and it interprets that input for the operating system and handle the resulting output from the operating system. So second is the kernel. Kernel interacts with the hardware. So this kernel is the core component of the operating system which acts as the interface between the application and data processing, which is formatted at the hardware level. So when operating system is loaded in the memory, this kernel load first. Kernel load first and remains in the memory till the operating system is not shut down. So as see my laptop is open and it is running. So when I will not close till that time it will be in the RAM, in the memory of the computer. So the kernel provides and manages the computer resources and it allows the other programs to run and use these resources. Okay, so kernel is responsible for the task for the input output management, receive the input and to display the output on the monitor, memory management, process management for the application execution. So where how to assign the processors, when to assign the processors to each process, device management with the help of the device drivers, and system calls control. Interrupt is generated whenever we give the input to the input devices like mouse and keyboard. So what you find, the user gives the instruction to the application of program, and to the program like Word or PowerPoint, whatever the application program we are running, and that instructions of the application program is go to the operating systems, that is the shell, and after the shell it passes to the kernel, and kernel its result, whatever the process will be there, it will route to the hardware. That hardware may be the memory, maybe the devices, monitor, maybe the CPU. Now this kernel, so all the basic system services, all the basic system services like process and memory management, interrupt handling were packed into a single module in the kernel space, and that single module which provide the services like the process and memory management and the interrupt handling is called the monolithic kernel. So this program, monolithic kernel, handle the services like the process management, memory management, and the interrupt. Now in the today's monolithic architecture, we have the microkernel, which contains the different modules. Microkernels have different types of the programs like device management, file system, network protocols, which can be the dynamically loaded and unloaded. Now, what are the functions of the operating systems? So, these functions of the operating systems are the management of the memory, processor management, device management, file management, security, control over system performance, job accounting, error detecting, aids, and coordination between the other software and users. So we will discuss its each part in detail. What is the memory management? What does this memory management does? An operating system manages the sharing of the internal memory among the multiple applications. So whenever any application we wants to open, so that application first we load it in the RAM. So to provide the memory in the RAM, that is done by the operating system, which is called the memory management. It also takes care, memory management means operating system also takes care of the fact that one process should not consume the memory allocated to the other process. Now, suppose I have opened the Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word, the memory which is allocated to the Microsoft Word, use it only that specific memory. Microsoft Word cannot use the memory allocated to the other applications. Suppose I have opened any website, or I have opened any other window media player. So the memory allocated to the other programs cannot be used by one program. Operating system has to make the efficient utilization of the different types of the memory, means in the RAM within the system, to ensure the proper execution of the every process. So processor management means here the operating system manages the working of the processor by allocating to the CPU, working of the CPU by allocating the CPU to various jobs. It also ensures that each process and application receives the enough time, receives the enough processor time to function properly. So here there are many algorithms used to assign the processor to the processes. Like round robin algorithm is used, which is not the part of a syllabus, but you learn in the higher classes. So in the round robin or first come first serve policy is there. So many algorithms are there. So the round robin method means processor is allocated to each process sequentially for a given time period of time. Suppose 2 microsecond is given for each process. So for every 2 microsecond, first 2 microsecond is given to the processor will be allocated to the processor 1, and the next 2 microsecond the processor will be allocated to the process 2, and the next 2 microsecond the processor will be allocated to the processor 3. And suppose only 3 process you initiated, so again the next 2 second time will be given to the process 1. Like this in the round robin method, in a circular fashion, the processor will be allocated to each process for 2 microseconds. Now since the time 2 microseconds is so small, you cannot experience that in your computer that one process is running at one time. What you will imagine, that the three processes, three applications which you have opened, all the three are running simultaneously, means parallel. Next is the device management. So operating system controls the working of all input and output devices. It receives the request from the input devices and performs the specific task and communicates back to the requesting process. Next, the file management. Operating system keeps the track of information regarding the creation and deletion of the file, where the file, when the file is created, where it is saved, in which folder, when the file is deleted, where it is transferred, copy, and storage of the files in an organized way. So it creates a file hierarchy. Security. So the operating system provides the various techniques which assures the integrity and the confidentiality of the user's data. So it provides the protection against unauthorized access through the login and password. So you can create login and password to your system. So any unauthorized person who don't know, who don't have the knowledge of the, who is not knowing about the login ID and password, they cannot use the computer. Protection against intrusion by keeping the firewall active. So if your system is, you have installed the firewall, so if any hacker or cracker wants to attack your system, so this firewall will protect the system. They will not allow you, they allow the hackers or crackers that request to reach the computer. Third is protecting against the malicious access to system memory. So, if any software you are installing and it contains a virus, so it will prevent. So, like the Windows 10 have the Windows Defender, so it will prevent and give the pop-up message that this file is corrupt file, this contains the virus, so don't install it. Display the message related to the system vulnerabilities. Suppose there are any weakness is there, any driver is not working, it will display the message that this driver is corrupted, and uh, so you have to install a new device driver. Next is error detection. So in error detection, from time to time, the operating system checks the system for any kind of external threat or malicious software. So it scans all the file, it scans all the devices, and checks the hardware for any type of damage. If suppose any hardware is damaged, so it will display the message to that device is not supported. It displays the number of alerts to the user to take the appropriate action against the any flaw or damage caused to the system. Job scheduling. So this is the another function. This is called the job accounting. Job scheduling is the same as job accounting in the multitasking operating system where multiple programs run at the same time. Operating system determines which application should run in which order, which I have explained you in the round robin method. Which application will get the first priority and for what period of time the processor is allocated to that process. Then how much time should be allocated for each application in turn. That is the job scheduling. Okay. Now next is the applications of the operating system. Security, where it is used by means of password which we have discussed just now. Coordination between other software and user. So coordination and assignment of the compiler, interpreter, assembler, and other software to the various users of the computer systems. So this compiler, interpreter, assembler you will learn it is used in the programming languages like HTML and the Python. These are the translators, which translates the high-level language into the machine code which computer understands. So now what is the operating system? How we can define now? Operating system is a program which acts as the interface between the user and the computer hardware and controls the execution of all kinds of programs. So now we can say operating system is a program that acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware and controls the execution of all kinds of programs. You can see here this is the many users request of the user 1, user 2, user n, and this is the software, system software, operating system, application software. All these are the software only. Now this system software, operating system manages the application software, hardware and other things. See operating system managing the application software also and the hardware also. Now the file management also we have studied that file system is normally organized into directories for easy navigation and uses, and these directories may contain the files and other directories. Now some types of operating system. So operating systems, there is a one type of operating system which is called the batch operating system, which is a very old operating system. The use of the batch operating system not interact with the computer directly. Each user prepare his job on an offline device like the punch card. Previously, there is a punch card, and they submit they write the instructions on the punch card and they submit it to the computer operator. And to speed up the processing, jobs with similar needs are batched together and run as group. So similar instructions are batched together and they are run as a group. Programmers leave their programs with their operators, and the operator then sorts the programs with similar requirements into batches. And after that, after some time, they come back and they take the output. The problem with the batch system is that there is a lack of interaction between the user and the job. CPU is often idle because the speed of the mechanical input and output devices is slower than the CPU. So CPU for most of the time remain idle, does not have the work. Difficult to provide the desired priority. So which program to provide the priority, that is the difficult because it is not managed by any software. Next is the time sharing operating system. Time sharing is a technique which helps many people located at various terminals to use a particular computer system at the same time. Time sharing or multitasking is a logical extension of multi-programming. Means processor's time, which is shared among multiple users simultaneously, and term as processor time in the process is given to the multiple users according to the time which I have discussed for the 2 microseconds. The difference between the multi-program batch system and time sharing system is that in case of multi-program batch system, and the objective is to maximize the processor use, whereas in time sharing system the objective is to minimize the response time. So multiple jobs are executed by the CPU, and by switching between them, multiple jobs, but the switches occur so frequently. Here the switch time for the switching of the CPU from process job 1 to job 2, job 2 to job 3 is so fast that the user cannot imagine that at one time only one job CPU is executing. For the user, it look like that the CPU is assuming all the three jobs simultaneously. What are the advantages of the time sharing system? It provides the advantage of quick response, avoids the duplication of the software, it reduces the CPU idle time. And what are the disadvantages of the time sharing system? Problem of reliability, question of security and integrity of user programs and data because many persons are sharing the operating systems. Problem of data communication. Next is the distributed operating system. So distributed operating system use multiple central processors to serve multiple real-time applications. There multiple central processors are there. Processors are divided into the cores. Like quad core means octa core. Quad core means the CPU is divided into 4 parts. That is the logical. There is the one CPU, but logically its whole entire working method is divided into 4 category. There the simultaneously 4 job they can handle. In the octa core, 8 jobs at the same time can be handled by the CPU. So the processors communicate with one another through various communication lines. So communication lines here are the buses. This is called the bus, data bus, control bus, and the address bus. So they are referred as loosely coupled systems or distributed systems. So the processors in distributed system may vary in size and function. What are the advantages of the distributed system with resource sharing facility? A user at one side may be able to use the resource available at the another side in the distributed system. So speed up the exchange of data with one another with the help of the electronic mail. If one side fails in a distributed system, the remaining sides can potentially continue operating. Better service to the customers, reduction of load on the host computer, reduction of delays in the data processing. Okay, so real-time operating system. So in the real-time operating system is designed to handle the real-life scenarios problem. Such operating systems have the capability to prioritize the process and minimize execution time and work independently with no interdependencies. So whenever you book a ticket online, you are actually communicating with a real-time software. This is handling your data independently, giving you instant response and securing your information while maintaining the same features for every customer who is online at that moment. So in the real-time operating system, the uh, which is called the core of the processor means that is allocated one person at a time. So if you are booking a ticket, so you will get the critical section, which is called the critical section. The core of the processor is called the critical section, That is critical section. Only one request be can enter. So others have to wait. So there is a queue for this called the request queue. So all the requests will be queued into a queue registers, and at one time only one request will be passed to the critical section. So therefore, at one time, one person can book the ticket. So real-time operating systems are used for the scientific experiments, medical imaging system, industrial control system, weapon system, robots, and air traffic control systems. So they uses this type of the system, real-time operating system. Okay. Next is the single user operating system. Single user operating system is the was the initial version of the operating system when the concepts of multi-threading and multitasking is not invented. So this operating system support only one user at a time. Single user means at a time one user can work. And the example of the single user operating system is the Windows 95, Microsoft DOS, all these are the single user operating system. So only one user can work. Graphical user interface GUI. So this operating system is graph based and interactive in nature. The commands are replaced by graphic symbols. Like today's we are working on this Windows 7, Windows 98, Windows 10. All these are the graphical user interface operating system. Where by clicking on the icons, we are opening the files. We are opening the softwares. Multi-user operating system means it allows more than one user to use the same computer at the same time or different time. So some of the operating system which falls in this category is the Linux, Unix, Microsoft Windows 2000. Windows 2000 was the first version of Windows which is allowed to use to create a several user accounts on a single machine. Windows 10 also we are creating more accounts, user 1 and user 2, user 3. So this Windows 10 is also the multi-user operating system. Multitasking operating system. The ability to perform more than one task at a single instant of time is called the multitasking. The operating system which is capable of doing multiple tasks or executing the process while using the common processing resources like CPU is called the multitasking operating system. Example of this multitasking operating systems are Windows XP 7, 8 and 10. All these are the multitasking operating system. At one time we can open more than one program. Next is the multi-threading operating system. So these multi-threading operating systems allow different parts of the application or program to run simultaneously. The feature of multi-threading delays the execution and response of certain process. Common example of such multi-threading operating systems is the Windows XP, Linux and Unix. All these are the multi-threading operating system. Now some commonly used operating system, which is the Windows, Unix and Linux. Now see, this is the batch processing in which the job 1, job 2 is given to the operating system, and after this the operator make a group of batch and that given to the CPU. Okay, you can see batch processing is a technique in which the operating system collects the program and data and together in a batch before processing starts. An operating system does the following activities related to the batch operation. So batch processing takes much of the work of the operator to the computer. Now see the commonly used operating system, that is the Windows operating system, Unix, Linux, MOS. Now see the Windows operating system referred as Microsoft Word, Microsoft Windows. OS are manufactured and developed by the giant Microsoft company. And this Microsoft introduced on November 20, 1985, first Windows graphical user interface operating system. The first version of Windows operating system 95. Since the many new and advanced versions of Windows have been developed, such as 98, 2000, Windows Millennium, XP, Windows Vista 7, Windows 8, 8.1, 10. This is the latest version. 10 is released on 29th July 2015. So advantages of the Windows: hardware compatibility. Almost every computer hardware manufacturing Industry supports the Microsoft Windows. Now, preloaded and available software Windows comes with much user-friendly software to make the everyday task easier. Ease of use Microsoft Windows have developed by far the most user-friendly operating system in the market. Now, these are the Windows 95, 98, 98, XP, Vista 7, 8, 8.1 and 10 is the latest which is released in 2015. Now Unix. Unix is developed in 1970 in the Bell Lab Research Center. Unix became a multitasking and multi-user operating system, reaching numerous platforms for use. It was developed by Ken Thompson, Dennis Ritchie, and few others at the AT&T licensed Unix to the development of many variants of the Unix. So the high level of security and regulated access to the data are the main features of this operating system. It's a very secure operating system, Unix. And many servers are using this operating system. It is a stable, multi-user, multitasking operating system. This operating system has a graphical user interface similar to the Microsoft Windows also. So the today's Unix is available on devices such as the personal computer, workstations, mainframes and supercomputers. This Unix is used. Next is the Linux. Linux is a high performance. Linux is a high performance free operating system suitable for the use on a wide range of computers and other products. Most of its versions of the Linux in the Fedora core Ubuntu consist of a kernel accompanied by hundreds of free utilities and application programs in a coordinated package. Linux was developed for the personal computer based on the Intel 86 architecture, and since then it was ported to more platforms than any other operating system. Now the top Linux operating system are the Ubuntu, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Red Hat and many more are there. Companies such as Red Hat, SUSE and Mendrive are now providing the package distribution of the Linux meant for mass utilization. Linux is slowly growing, a tough competitor against the Windows. Linux is very stable compared to the Windows and very secure. Linux in every single application is independent of each other and is free of cost. Hardly 1% of the applications which are exclusively for business purpose cost something. Linux is very safe as compared to the Windows. Solaris, another operating system, is a part of Unix operating system family. It was developed by the Sun Microsystem. Solaris was developed by, as a proprietary software. So presently it is known as Oracle because Sun Microsystem is purchased by the Oracle Solaris since Oracle Corporation overtook the Sun in January 2010. It is a combination of both the open and closed source software. So advantage of this Solaris is provides good and high performance, provides complete protection against virus and malware. It is a multitasking operating system, allows the multiple tasks at the same time. Next is the BOSS. BOSS stands for Bharat Operating System Solutions. It is a GNU or Linux distribution developed by CDAC, especially by India for Indians. It was developed by the CDAC Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Chennai, to benefit the free open source softwares in India. It has enhanced the desktop environment integrated with multiple Indian languages support and other software. So the BOSS makes it easier for Microsoft Windows user to migrate to the Linux platform by providing outstanding features like bulk documents, converter presentation tools and features like plug and play. So next is the mobile operating system. So mobile operating system is the operating system that helps to run other application software on the mobile devices. It's the same kind of software as the computer systems, computer operating systems like Linux and Windows. But this mobile operating system is a system software which is compatible for the mobile only. The operating system found on smartphones include Symbian operating system, iPhone operating system, RIMS, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, Palm WebOS, Android, and Waymo. All these are the mobile operating system. So first we will study the Android operating system. So Android is the most popular operating system. It is open source Linux based platform developed by the Android Inc. Corporation. In October 2003, it was purchased by the Google Inc. Corporation. In 2005, the green robot is the logo for the Android operating system. Android operating system turns your phone into a powerful web browser. Next is the Symbian operating system. Symbian operating system is a mobile operating system used for the smartphone developed by the Symbian Limited. and it is maintained by the Essential company. So Symbian operating system is used by Nokia, and uh, Android overtook it. Android purchased the Symbian operating system in 2010. iOS operating system. iOS is the mobile operating system developed by the Apple company. And the iOS operating system is the most popular operating system today. It is very secure operating system. So it was originally released in 2007 and it is used to run the iPhone, iPad and iPod Touch. Apple's make both the hardware and operating system for its devices which run on iOS. Everything is designed to work together, which makes it safe and unique. So the latest version of the iOS operating system 11.4.1 is the latest version released on 9th July 2018. Next is the Windows mobile operating system. So the Windows mobile operating system was developed by the Microsoft. It was designed for the pocket personal computers and smart mobiles. So this Windows mobile operating system developed by the Microsoft company, and the mobile device is based on the Windows CE kernel designed to look and operate similar to desktop version of the Microsoft Windows. Some of the Windows mobile operating system are the Nokia Lumia 920, Samsung 80 IPS, and Windows Phone 8C by HTC. Okay, so now we have completed this lesson 4, which is your till lesson 4 will come in the first practical test exam, and the answers are uploaded on the school website in the study material section as you are knowing. So now from tomorrow we will do the revision of this lesson 1 to 4. So prepare well for the exam. So this is all for the today students. Thank you for your kind attention.